Hello friends, you are on the channel Quotes of Great Men. Enjoy watching. In my nostrils still lives the breath of flowers that perished 20 years ago. Good fathers not only tell us how to live, they show us. There are times when one would like to hang the whole human race and finish the farce. The educated Southerner has no use for an R except at the beginning of a word. The human race is a race of cowards, and I am not only marching in that procession, but carrying a banner. Soap and education are not as sudden as a massacre, but they are more deadly in the long run. Prophesy is a good line of business, but it is full of risks. We may not pay Satan reference, for that would be indiscreet, but we can at least respect his talents. To place man properly at the present time, he stands somewhere between the angels and the French. Human pride is not worthwhile. There is always something lying in wait to take the wind out of it. Steal a chicken if you get a chance, Hawk, because if you don't want it, someone else does, and a good deed ain't never forgotten. You have heretofore found out, by my teachings, that man is a fool. You are now aware that woman is a damned fool. Wheresoever she was, there was Eden. If everyone was satisfied with himself, there would be no heroes. I don't want no better book than what your face is. There are those who scoff at the schoolboy, calling him frivolous and shallow, yet it was the schoolboy who said faith is believing what you know ain't so. There was never a century nor a country that was short of experts who knew the deity's mind and were willing to reveal it. Every man is wholly honest to himself and to God, but not to anyone else. No man is straightly honest to any but himself and God. Warm summer sun, shine kindly here. Warm southern wind, blow softly here. Green sod above, lie light, lie light. Good night, dear heart, good night, good night. Fortune knocks at every man's door once in a life. Weather is a literary specialty, and no untrained hand can turn out a good article on it. In the ancient city of London, on a certain autumn day in the second quarter of the 16th century, a boy was born to a poor family of the name of Canty, who did not want him. If you've got a nice fresh corpse, fetch him out. Thanksgiving Day, let all give humble, hearty, and sincere thanks. Now, but the turkeys. In the island of Fiji, they do not use turkeys, they use plumbers. It does not become you and me to sneer at Fiji. Adam did not want the apple for the apple's sake. He wanted it because it was forbidden. There are several kinds of stories, but only one difficult kind, the humorous. You need not expect to get your book right the first time. When I reflect upon the number of disagreeable people who I know have gone to a better world, I am moved to lead a different life. School gets in the way of my learning. The catfish is plenty good enough fish for anyone. When I want to read something nice, I sit down and write it myself. Don't go to sleep. So many people die there. I was born modest, but it didn't last. Mine was a trained Presbyterian conscience and knew but the one duty to hunt and harry its slave upon all pretexts and on all occasions, particularly when there was no sense nor reason in it. The first half of my life I went to school. The second half of my life I got an education. If true, rarely beautiful. If beautiful, rarely true. To avoid lying, do nothing that needs covering. Today's burdens can strengthen you for tomorrow. There's something in it when a body like the widow or the parson prays, but it don't work for me, and I reckon it don't work for only just the right kind. Cooper's art has some defects. In one place in Deerslayer, and in the restricted space of 2/3 of a page, Cooper has scored 114 offenses against literary art out of a possible 115. It breaks the record. We had an abundance of mangoes, papayas, and bananas here, but the pride of the islands, the most delicious fruit known to men, cherimoya, was not in season. It has a soft pulp, like a pawpaw, and is eaten with a spoon. When I take up one of Jane Austen's books, I feel like a barkeep entering the kingdom of heaven. I know what his sensation would be in his private comments. He would not find the place to his taste, and he would probably say so. The equator was wisely put where it is, because if it had been run through Europe, all the kings would have tried to grab it. Constellations have always been troublesome things to name. If you give one of them a fanciful name, it will always refuse to live up to it. It will always persist in not resembling the thing it has been named for. When you catch an adjective, kill it. Perhaps the best possible advice for budding writers. Balloon, thing to take meteoric observations and commit suicide with. Benefit of clergy, half rate on the railroad. Thanks for watching. Check out these educational videos too.